Hello again there, everybody, and welcome to this latest edition of Grilling the Birds, brought to you by Inside the Birds. That handsome devil over there is Trey Thomas. I'm D.Gunn. And Trey, it took us 4 weeks, but we finally get to talk about an Eagles win. And as strange as this sounds, the Eagles with a 1-2-1 record is in first place in the NFC East.
You know, everybody was talking bad about the tie and just was feeling down about the tie. And look what the tie has done for us. It has put us in first place. Who would ever thought that 1-2-1 would be in first place? But here we are. Isn't that just so 2020, though? Would it be any different for the year of 2020?
It has been a year like no other, and hopefully we never go through a year like this again. But, Trey, when you look at the NFC East overall, the NFC East is 3-12-1. I'm just going to say it. Right now, the NFC East is trash. Straight up trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got teams are struggling, man. You know, it's not. I guess the no off season, the no training camp right now is really affecting teams in the NFC, especially when you look at teams that have the new coaching staffs. No one is really putting it, especially for the NFC East. You have 3 coaching staffs that are new to their teams, so their teams are struggling right now. And here we are. We find a win and a tie, and look at us. We're sitting at the top of the heap right now.
And only 4 games into the season, the Washington football team has already made a quarterback change. Dwayne Haskins is not your backup. He's now number 3, and 2 other guys have moved up. Alex Smith is now the number 2 quarterback for that team.
Hey, man, 2020, man. The year now is 2020. Everything is, I'm not surprised by anything anymore right now.
Well, all right. To the matter at hand, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles, they find a way to get by the San Francisco 49ers, 25-20. Defense finally got some turnovers. Carson Wentz played a much better game. But we're going to go in the trenches with Trey right off the bat, because as you and I talked about getting ready for this particular show, the first name that came out of your mouth was Jordan Mailata, getting his first ever start in the National Football League, seeing his first extensive time ever playing in the National Football League, and you want to sing his praises right off the bat.
Yeah, man. I mean, for someone that's only been playing this game for 3 years, he's only been playing football for 3 years, and to get out there for his NFL start at the left tackle position, I thought that he played a hell of a game. I mean, he came out there, he battled all throughout the game. I don't think he gave up any sacks, maybe a half a sack on a play. It was a half a sack. A lot of people don't want to give it to him, but it was a half a sack on one.
Well, wait a minute. Now, the official stats say he played 82 snaps and didn't give up a sack. So who am I going to believe? The official sacks or the former NFL left tackle Trey Thomas?
It was a point. It was a half a sack on that one. It was the last sack of the game. It was a Q8. It was Carson was rolling out. What Mailata was supposed to do is he was supposed to step down in the B gap and then waterfall to the C gap. So it's like a step down and then you drift back to take care of that defensive end that's coming outside. He never did. He felt like the B gap was never secured, and he didn't come back for the defensive end. The defensive end did get in on that sack. So, depending on how they want to do it, his guy was in on the sack. Yeah, I mean, and I'm just being honest. But I thought that, he played an extremely good game when you go out there. He didn't look overpowered. He didn't look overmatched. The defensive ends really just kind of played into his wheelhouse because they kept trying to bull rush him. And, I mean, you're looking at somebody that's 6'8", 300 and whatever pounds he is, you're not going to run him over. And I think the defensive ends just played into his hands by just running into his chest. Now, there were a couple times here and there where I felt like, a little technical issue where he should have used his hands a little bit more. But I think all in all, it was an amazing game for him.
The only real blemish I thought that he had in this game, based on the information you're giving me and based on what I had the chance to see, is the fact he had that false start in the second quarter, I believe it was. But that's understandable. He had the jitters. He didn't even find out he was going to start until Saturday. So you can imagine what must have been going through his mind between Saturday right up until kickoff Sunday evening. And I thought, you're right, he handled it well. When you talk about, the guy preparing him for this moment, Jeff Stoutland, one of the best offensive line coaches in the game. And, of course, Jordan Mailata gave a lot of credit for the likes of Jason Peters and and Lane Johnson for tutoring him along the way to get him mentally and physically ready for a game of this magnitude. You couldn't have better mentorship to get ready for your first professional start.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you got a first ballot Hall of Famer right there, you know, Lane Johnson is a several-time Pro Bowler, and then you have Coach Stoutland there leading the charge. You know, those are a great group of guys to really pull from to get ready for this game.
All right, so he played because the future Hall of Famer, Jason Peters, had a toe injury.
Yeah.
And now he's on 3-week IR.
Yeah.
How did this man go from fatigue the previous week to a toe injury to IR 5 days later? I don't get it, Trey.
It was just just a strain, just how it all started out. It's like a Twitter thread a little bit. When you go back and you look at how it started, where at first it was a helmet to the shin, and then Doug came out and was just like, well, he's tired. And then, you know, you get to Wednesday's practice, and it said that he didn't practice due to illness. And then we get to Friday, and it said foot. And then now you get ready to go out to San Fran for the game, and then the report is he's on IR because of the toe. I'm like, did he get the gout? Is it the gout? Like, what is it? You know, because I know my dad got the gout a lot, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger. And to see my dad hobble around with the gout, you know, I didn't know, like, was it the gout? What was the situation? But they said it's a toe injury. He's going to be down for, with being on IR, that's at least 3 weeks. So that's going to put you to the bye week. And they say at least 3 weeks, maybe longer. So who knows if you're going to see JP back for this season.
All right. I hate to say this because he has been such a warrior, such a gladiator his entire career. Even if he comes back, should the Eagles move on from Jason Peters and relegate him to the role of backup and let these young guys get as much grooming as possible? Because, I mean, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. There's some serious financial decisions that have to be made after the 2020 season, and some of those decisions will be made along the offensive line.
I will get my money's worth after making this big stink about, you know, getting paid and having to, you know, hey, I want to get more money to move back over the left tackle. Once you're cleared to get back out there on that field, you're getting back out there on that field. You're not going to sit there and collect this check and just sit on the sideline with a nice, cool cup of Gatorade. And you know, no, that's not happening. For me, I got to get my money's worth. You're going to have to just get back out there and let's get through it.
All right, on the other side, Lane Johnson, in and out because of that ankle injury. Doug Peterson said after the game, it's the type of injury that could be nagging him all season long. But I've said it once, I'll say it again. I think Lane Johnson is one of the toughest, I've ever come across mentally. And I know how much that ankle's bothering him. Unfortunately, he waited until right before the season to have that surgery. You and I have talked about that. He should have had it done back in January, February. How long can he continue to play on this ankle, Trey?
Well, he's going to have to push through it. I mean, this is because you waited to get the surgery. You waited all this time to have the surgery. So now you're just going to have to fight through it. This is where you are. You know, you waited to do this. This is something that could have been done back in January, February. You would have been, all of this right now that you're going through would have been done and over with. But since you waited to have it done in August, then now, hey, we're in the season now. He's needed at that right tackle position because he means so much to this offensive line. You're already down, Jason Peters. So having Lane in there, I mean, there was one point in this season that you only had one starter out there on the field, So, you need to make sure that, hey, man, hey, let's go. We need you. You just got to battle through this.
So whenever Lane Johnson went out, Jack Driscoll would come in for him. For the limited amount of time we watched Jack Driscoll, break down his game for me.
I thought that Jack came in. He had a couple struggles where he got a little push every now and then. But I think all in all, he came out there and he battled. Again, when you have guys that keep switching in and out and you have younger guys that's coming in there and working with guards that they haven't usually worked with before, they should expect games. And a lot of times you saw a couple of those games come in that came in a little free sometimes that they didn't handle the switch off very well. So, there were some struggles when he came in just because of games and also getting a little push.
Now, Jason Kelce is the only healthy starter along that offensive line. He had a couple of miscues, had a couple of high snaps, one to Carson Wentz, and one you felt that he got credit for a high snap, but Jalen Hurts should have had it?
Yeah, oh yeah, man. I mean, he's a quarterback. I mean, it wasn't perfect. It was off to the right a little bit. But I mean, being an athlete, you know, 9 times out of 10, most people say, if you ask anybody around the team, they say the quarterback has the best hands on the team because you're always catching the ball every time. So I mean, Hurts, you got to take your eyes off the focus on that ball, man. You know, it might be with Kelsey, you never know where it's gonna be. Sometimes he shoot them things back there. You know, you need to be ready. So, I mean, it was a little off to the right. Come on, man. Be an athlete, man. Save your center right there.
Why do you think that continues to happen with a veteran center like a Jason Kelsey, though? You don't see that happen a lot. But with Jason Kelsey, it happens once every other game or something like that nowadays.
Yeah, he has some snap issues from time to time, but it's just because he's trying to get to where he needs to be. You know, he's out there battling. You know, on the one particular play that he had to where he snapped the ball over Wentz's head, you know, he had a combination block with the guard there. So he's trying to get that reach block so that Nate can get up to the linebacker. So sometimes he gets a little excited and just throws the ball, tosses that ball back there, trying to get into his assignments. And, you know, it just is what it is. And then now on the one where it hurts, I really don't know what his blocking assignment was on there, but Hurts should have caught the ball. It was a little off to the right, but he should have caught that.
So we look at the whole offensive line from tackle to tackle. Carson Wentz sacked 3 times. Yeah, he got hit 10 times. When you consider the last-minute addition on one side, rotating tackles on the other side, what's your overall grade from tackle to tackle for the way they played?
I mean, you know, you came out of here with a win. You had over 100 yards rushing, but that was because Carson had to scramble around a little bit. You didn't get, you know, so to me, I think it was, B minus C, I guess, you know, because anytime you come out of the game with 3 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, that's not A worthy, you know. So to me, I would have to go probably, you know, B minus C for that effort there. I thought that they came out there and they scrapped. I mean, there was a solid defensive line. They were okay. You didn't have your starters. You didn't have the Bosa out there, one of the Bosa brothers. And you know, so it was a solid performance. They came out there and did what they had to do.
All right, now for the man that we're protecting, Carson Wentz, the lowest passer rating in the National Football League, most turnovers in the NFL, leads the league in interceptions. This is not Carson Wentz, but I thought even though the stats in this game were not eye-popping, I thought this was Carson's best performance of the season.
Yeah, this was definitely Carson. You know, you saw a lot of the old Carson where he came in, he you know, extremely active, moving around. Whenever the protection broke down, he wasn't afraid to go ahead and make some plays with his legs. You know, and the one interception that was thrown, it was because he got a little pressure. The ball was tipped again. So now you get an interception like that. But then you started seeing him come to his own, scrambling around. That one play where he was scrambling around, and I think he ended up hitting Bostic down the field, Bostic down the field. I mean, that Boston Scott, down the field, that right there was a vintage Carson where he's scrambling around. It ended up being defensive holding, but I mean, that was right there a beautiful play. And then the one pass down to Fogan down on the left side. I felt like that right there was one of those plays where it was, I think that play just took a heavy rock off of Wentz's shoulders where he can get out there, throw a play to the left, dropped it right there where the receiver needed to be, and then there you go. That was a touchdown. I know that right there was a huge weight off of Carson's chest for him to go ahead and make that throw. And also on the rushing touchdown, I thought that if you go back and you watch that film, you see Mailata give a hand signal there where he told Wentz, hey, I'm going up to the linebacker. And for Wentz to recognize that get that hand signal, then make his move, get into the end zone. I thought that this game was a lot of just different plays that really helped give help some confidence that hopefully Carson can continue to build off of.
When you look at the more athletic quarterbacks in this league, the Lamar Jacksons, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watsons, they utilize everything in their arsenal in terms of making plays. And Carson is in that category. I don't like how the Eagles have tried to make him this stationary target in the pocket. That's not his game. His claim to fame is utilizing that athleticism because, Trey, as you know, when that quarterback starts rolling out, it'll freeze outside linebacker. It'll freeze a safety. And that's when your scrambling wide receivers have that ability to somehow shake free of coverage where you can make some of those plays. And as we finally saw Carson do, what Carson's done in the past, you've got to let this man, as I like to say, let the horse out of the corral and utilize those athletic skills to be the complete quarterback that he is capable of being.
Yeah, I think so. And then I wonder how much of it is Carson is just trying to protect himself because he knows that you have Jalen Hurts in the background. So he doesn't want to get hurt. And then you get Hurts out there on the field and, you know, Hurts completes a couple passes. And the next thing you know, you have another quarterback controversy going on. So I think, you know, in the back of his mind, Carson is like he wants to protect himself because he does not want to see another backup quarterback get out there on the field and the fans start loving him again. Because you know how the fans are. When the backup quarterback gets on the field, Nick Foles and the Folesian society gets going, and then it turns into they shift over to the Hurt Society. So you don't want that right now. So you want to make sure that you protect yourself so that you can be out there on the field so that you can lead the charge.
Come on, man. Honestly, you don't think Jalen Hurts is a threat to his kingdom right now. Now, maybe 7-8 games into the year, or if Jalen Hurts, his playbook, let's say, is expanded in terms of week to week, 4 plays 1 week, 7 the next, 12 the next. I don't think he's a threat to Carson's kingdom right now.
Man, people have been calling for his head already.
I know, but that's emotions.
3 games in, everybody was already calling for Carson's head. So he messed around, and Carson has to go down for whatever length of time, and Hurts gets in there, and they actually allow Hurts to throw a couple passes, and if he hits a receiver on time or whatever, you know everybody, and especially now that fans are going to be in the stadium now, you know everybody's going to be calling for Hurts. You don't want to hear that right now when you're trying to
But 5,000 people in a stadium doesn't resonate like 65,000 people in a stadium.
Man, however many, you can let 10 Philadelphians in that stadium and they're going to be heard.
I'll tell you another thing I liked about Carson. He was out on the perimeter blocking. You see him out there blocking on the perimeter?
Yeah, I like that. He was showing a little hump to him. You know, I really enjoyed watching that snap. And it was kind of like, even at the end of it, the way he kind of gave him a little shove, like, back up, little man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I really enjoyed seeing that from Carson.
You know, we talk about the running game. The running game wasn't as efficient as it was the previous week against Cincinnati. But what really stood out is the fact that at the crucial point of the game, where's Miles Sanders? Where the heck is your feature back? Your head coach, Doug Peterson, said that we wanted a bigger back in there at that time. What does that even mean? You don't trust him with the ball? What does that mean?
Well, because you're looking for first downs, and at the end of the game, they just came with 2 inside zone runs. So now we're going to try to get it up in between the tackles, try to pound it up in there. Because the first play, when we were looking at it, it was like a minute and 50 seconds left in the game. Now they ran an inside zone to the left. So you're trying to get in between the tackles, just bang it up in there, see whatever yards you can get. I think the ball was stuffed. I think maybe they got half a yard on that run. Then you come back and they ran inside zone to the right. That didn't get anything. So, they're trying to keep it in between the tackles. And then for the third play, I don't even know why they ran a Q8, which is kind of like a rollout to the right. There's a play that we ran all the time. And again, that's where Jordan Mailata was supposed to step down into the B gap and waterfall back. And it ended up being a sack. Now, I know that they were trying to take a little time off the clock, but to me, I had to go back and watch it. I want to see on that play, to me, it felt like they ran it to the short side of the field. So if you're going to run something where you want to try to burn some time off the clock and also have a chance at getting first down, why run it to the short side of the field? It seems to me that you would want to run it to the opposite side of the field. But, we never ran it to the other side of the field for McNabb, because now that means that now he has to roll left and he has to throw with his right hand. So it's a shifting of the body and all of that. So, they were like, all right, we're just going to take it to the short side of the field and see what we can get.
Now, one of the young men you mentioned earlier, Travis Fogan. Who is Travis Fogan? Well, first of all, he played at that football powerhouse, Old Dominion, in college. Old Dominion, that football powerhouse. I believe it's in Virginia, isn't it?
I don't know.
Virginia? Yeah.
I have no idea,
I know they have a good basketball team every other year.
Really? Old Dominion, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it
Not Florida.
doesn't matter where you're from. It's where
Right.
you at. He's in the NFL right now.
That's right. It's not Florida State, but
Well,
it's the
no,
football
everybody
school.
can't. You see it up there. You
Hey,
right
hey,
there.
right now, I wouldn't be bragging about Florida State if I was you right now.
Whoa. We would just whoop Jacksonville University.
Who?
Exactly. I had to look them up too.
And then the one AA school.
I don't know. I had to Google them too. Because somebody tweeted me like, man, what's going on with Florida State? Y'all getting beat 14-0 by Jacksonville State. I'm like,
Yeah,
who the hell is Jacksonville University? I don't even know who that is. I had to Google it. But anyway.
It's in Florida, man. That's where you
No,
from,
actually,
Florida.
it's in Alabama. I thought it was Jacksonville. It's in Alabama.
Oh, no.
Alabama. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So, Travis Fogan, a quick
Yeah.
synopsis of his story. On August 9th, he gets cut by the Detroit Lions. August 19th, he gets cut by the Green Bay Packers. He got cut by the Eagles at the end of training camp and brought back. This man makes the game-winning catch, and I love his demeanor. He said, hey, I didn't see the ball at first, but I found it. And when you saw that ball come there, you see it almost slip through his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he grabbed that thing with every part of his body like a pit bull grabbing a bone, man.
Yeah. I think he caught one of his testicles too. He just went on and grabbed
no,
grabbed it all up, man. Just hold it all in. And then he flipped into the end zone. Hey, man, he did whatever he had to do. He caught every ball that was right there. He wrapped it all up and put it in the end zone. And I love the way his interview was because he kind of was like real nonchalant about it. Like, hey, man, that's just what I do, baby. I catch touchdowns. You put the ball in there. If I'm there, I'm coming down with it, and I catch touchdowns. That's just another day at the office. Yeah, we only ran the play once in practice. It worked in practice, and it worked again in the game. Throw me the damn ball.
That's what the DBs have been saying after the game. They said this guy catches everything in practice, so we're not surprised at what he did here. I tell you what, that's not only a big confidence booster for an offense that's missing a Deshaun Jackson, that's missing a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, that's still missing an Alshon Jeffrey, but in terms of your quarterback having confidence to go to that young man in crucial situations, especially when your quarterback's already handcuffed with weapons, no Dallas got it out there. That's a huge confidence booster between the quarterback and the wide receiver.
I tell you what, though, it seems to me that Carson plays better when he has perceived lower talented receivers. It seems to me like his game elevates. He just turns into something totally different, and he starts playing the game the way he should play. And I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to deal with all the personalities. I think he likes feeling like, you know what, I am the one right now. It's all me right here. So I'm going to go out here and rise to the occasion and lead the charge. Instead of having some guys out there like a Deshaun Jackson, if the ball doesn't go to him, the body language that comes along with that at times, and all the other stuff there with Alshon Jeffrey and everything else. So I think that just having a younger group around Carson is much better for him to play the game that he wants to play.
I couldn't agree with you more. And hopefully he continues to build confidence, rapport with these guys, and hopefully they do great things, especially with the schedule coming up. All right, let's flip over to the defense now. But before we do, we got to take a quick pause for the cause. And for football is in the books, and now it's time to review the tape and get ready for week number 5. There is no better place to get in on all the action than with the DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Now, to add to the excitement of week number 5, DraftKings Sportsbook is bringing back their can't-miss offer. If you haven't tried DraftKings Sportsbook yet, head to the App Store right now because you don't want to miss this. DraftKings Sportsbook is giving all new users the chance to receive a sign-up bonus of up to $1,000. I said it, $1,000. Now, on top of that great sign-up offer, DraftKings offers great odds boost every Sunday to help you make it rain. Don't worry if football's not for you. DraftKings is giving all basketball fans a 200% profit boost. Let me say that again. Even Trey's listening. A 200% profit boost on any basketball market once you sign up. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the promo code ITB when you sign up and get up to $1,000. That's code ITB to sign up a bonus of $1,000 for a limited time only in DraftKings Sportsbook. Man, they giving away money like Christmas gifts, man.
Yeah,
man,
that's
all
good.
right. let's shift over to the defense now. And the defense, they did what they were supposed to do against a lesser talent than Nick Mullins. And, of course, then C.J. Beathard came in later. Overall, 5 quarterback sacks. That's 13 now. The last 2 games, 15 quarterback hits. They finally got in the turnover department, Trey, with 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery. This is what we've been waiting to see from this defense.
Absolutely. This is one of those games that you've been really waiting to see for our defense to just turn on. You have a lot of money invested up front. Let's start seeing some of the fruits of that. And I think, you just started seeing right out the gate. They came out of this game and started playing with a lot of energy. That 1 sack that Barnett had there where he just came out there, bull rush Trent Williams. That was a big boy sack against another future Hall of Famer. And I mean, he just came in there, bull rush Trent Williams, got the sack. Now, of course, for me, I feel like every sack is based off of the coverage behind it. So, the coverage back there was able to hold it down so that you could give your defensive line time to get there and get the sack. And I think that Barnett, you saw a lot of nice little moves coming into play. Came in there with a bull rush spin move. You saw Sweat come in, nice little long arm, got a sack. BG coming in there. Avery came in and had a really nice game where he had 1 tackle for a loss, one sack, 5 quarterback hits by himself. So this defense right now, if you look at right now, they're leading the league right now with 17 sacks, 45 quarterback hits. And that's what you want to see. Now, when you say that, all right, Slade and company is really helping with this secondary, giving these guys time to get there. And I mean, 17 sacks, 45 quarterback hits is quite impressive. But then you go back and you look at who has second place. And who has second place is the Steelers with 15 sacks, 39 quarterback hits, and they missed a game. So, so that's what you're dealing with right now.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Steelers a little bit later on because they're going to bring it. They're going to bring it. Alex Singleton, man. Now, of course, Nick Mullins gifted him an INT, but Alex Singleton took it to the house, man. And those are morale boosters and energy boosters when a team is struggling that really help you turn the corner in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I looked at when you started watching this game. When there was a turnover, everybody on the field, they went and ran to the end zone because they had that little action camera or whatever that was. So this team needs to have that type of energy. They need something for them to go out there and flex and show off for. And they found, I don't know who told them that, hey, man, there's a little camera down there in the corner of the end zone. Y'all need, if you make a play, go down there and show out in that little camera because that's the action camera. And that's all this defense needed. Because now they're like, we have something that we can go and flex in front of. Oh, man, we're going to go out here and make some plays. And they ended up coming out of this game with 3 turnovers. And then everybody runs down there to the action cam, flexing on everything and just showing out. But then there was one picture that was tweeted out. And it's a picture where everybody's in front of the action camera, flexing and everything. Right. Gerry, he was outside of the camera trying to flex. And they're like, even in the shot, you're out of position.
Hey, you wrong, man. Now you wanted to single out in particular Jannard Avey. He only played 22% of the snaps, but you liked his overall game because he was active from start to finish.
Oh yeah, he came in, was like a nice change of pace. Was coming in with a nice little change up, bull rush. When he came in on games, he was very efficient. Was getting after the quarterback, and if he got close, he made sure he laid a thump on him. I believe it was his hit on the quarterback that led to the first interception. So extremely active as a rusher out there. And it was good to see that our defense is really now starting to click and be what they need to be.
Jalen Mills, I knew about this the day before the game, but I was asked not to say something. They moved him from safety back to cornerback out of necessity because Avonte Maddox was down. I'll talk about Jalen Mills because, okay, he made his NFL claim to fame playing cornerback. Now they ask him to play safety. So his entire mindset this offseason, training camp, and the first 3 games of the season was safety mentality. Now he's got to redirect his thinking back to the cornerback mode. How do you think he handled himself?
I thought he did it well. They didn't pick on him. You know, it wasn't a situation where they were like, all right, we're going to go after Jalen Mills. You know, even when you get down on the red zone where they had the play that was he had on the 1 yard line where he stopped the guy shy of the touchdown. I mean,
Right.
Jalen Mills, I thought that he came out there and played a solid game. He did what was asked of him. He went from one position to another. Who would think that that's possible to have it on a team, especially after, you know, we just finished up with what happened earlier with JP. Jalen Mills went ahead and was like, all right, you need me, whatever the team needs, I'll go wherever you need me to go because it's all about the team. And I thought that he did a good job and held his own.
Okay. All right. You wanna get in there a promo right now?
All right, yeah, man. Let's talk about Manscaped, who is #1 in men's below the belt grooming. But today we're not even going to talk about what the trimmer can do for your nut hairs. We're not even going to get into that.
You can't say that, man.
I'm just saying, though, that's what it's about. That's what they're known for. The Lawnmower 3.0 that has been redesigned with the 7,000 RPM quiet stroke motor. But I'm not even going to get into that right now. We're going to talk about the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker is one of their newer products. And now this thing, just like the Lawnmower 3.0, this right here is designed for nose and hair, for nose hair and ear hair. So you got guys that got like the bad nose hairs, you know, where you know what I'm saying. So now they have the Weed Whacker that has a 9,000 RPM motor that powers a 360 rotary dual blade system. It's waterproof and it enables wet or dry operation. So now you can go ahead and take care of your nose hairs, your ear hair, because nobody wants to be walking around. You know, if you don't have nose hairs, you don't have to always be checking if you have any bats hanging in the cave. So now you go ahead and you knock it out with the Weed Whacker, which is one of their newer products that they're offering. So you can also get the Lawnmower 3.0 to take care of all your other grooming. And then if you need your nose hair or ear hair, you go ahead and get the Weed Whacker, and then that'll go ahead and knock out your nose and ear, man, and then boom, you off and running. Now, they don't have any colognes or spices or anything to help you out like they do for your undercarriage, but, you know, at least you can get your nose and hair taken care of with their new and improved Weed Whacker.
All right, so they have a lawnmower.
Yes.
They have a Weed Whacker.
Yes.
Do they have a hedge trimmer?
Oh yeah, they have a plow that's a blade that's going to be kind of like a shaver, you know, more of a blade. But man, they got all kinds of products for you, man. You know, they even have the foot duster. You know, something that's going to help you with getting your foot deodorant. They have lots of products. So if you ever want to, just go to manscaped.com, manscaped.com, and use promo code TRAY, T-R-A, for 20% off on all of these products. But yeah, man, they have a wide range of products that help you with your male grooming.
Hey, man, I don't know about you, but I know some guys that have nose hair and ear hair. It looked like barbed wire hanging out. It looked like you could braid it, man. And you know, and these are people making public appearances on TV and stuff. I ain't saying no names, but
yeah,
hey, man,
Weed Whacker. There you go. That's what they need right there. The Weed Whacker.
So, yeah, all right. Get back. Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to send me a gift package. What happened?
We got you, man. We got you. It's on the way. It's on the way.
Okay. That's kind of shady to me. I ain't trying
you.
to call you out or nothing, but that's kind of shady to me.
It's kind of like how you say, you know, we're going to eat ribs together.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
We got you. Don't worry about it. How you going to try? And now that's the funny thing. Now you'll call me out, and I haven't said anything about not being invited over for ribs yet.
We're in quarantine, bro. We've been in quarantine since March.
Man, dog. See, we can social distance.
I can't let you in my neighborhood. I don't know what you bringing from Jersey.
What? Man, I am a clean, wholesome man. I sit at the house. You see me. I don't be in the streets. Not anymore, you know.
All right, let's get back to football there. Pass coverage in general. Give me a grade on their pass coverage in general, because 49ers, as we thought, hit some plays, especially on the one play that Ayuk had the touchdown run on. And, you know, but that is what it is when you're talking about a patched up secondary.
Yeah, man. Now let's go over this play with Ayuk. Okay, so this play was an actual screen play. All right. So a lot of people, when you go back and you watch this play, and everybody watched this play, it was like, that was a dirty block on Slay. What the offensive lineman did to Slay was dirty. Oh my God, that was such a dirty play. It was a screen play. So on screens, offensive line are taught to cut in the secondary. So, and the reason they do that is because you don't want to be out there dancing with a cornerback in space. They'll make you look stupid. So you get out in space, you're taught to cut the front side knee, and that's what the offensive lineman did. He got out in space, and you'll see on this clip right here where he just got out there and he took out the front side knee, and then now it's over with and done. Now, a lot of people might think that it's illegal. It's actually legal. It's just that you don't see our offensive line doing it. But everybody else around the league, you cut on the secondary level just because you don't want to get out there and start dancing with a DB.
All right, speaking of DBs, the rookie Kevon Wallace started at safety. He played 37% of the snaps, but Marcus Epps played 60%. And I think we will agree that Kevon, being a rookie, is not ready for every down football at the NFL level yet.
Yeah, now he need to get in the weight room, man. You got to get in the weight room a little bit.
I agree.
I believe that Kittle kind of just was like, what are you doing here, young man? Here you go. Here's here, hold on to this stiff arm real quick. And while I get on upfield for another 5-6 yards, I think that the young man is going to get there. He just, needs to develop a little bit more.
You had to bring up that man, George Kittle, didn't you? 15 catches, 183 yards, 1 touchdown, and he taught Wallace a lesson and the secondary, but more importantly, our linebackers, man, pass coverage. Our linebackers, Trey.
Yeah. Man,
it's not just a job, it's an adventure with this crew, and now they're down a few more bodies. It could be even worse.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to play out. When our linebackers, at least this week, they played a little bit better, I guess, because they made some plays. It wasn't all bad. They came out, they made a couple plays. You got Singleton, I believe that's his last name, Singleton, there with the interception. And he did a good job of playing back, reading the quarterback's eyes, but he dropped back into his zone. It wasn't like how they were in Cincinnati where Burrow could just work them with his eyes and then come right back over their heads. They did a good job, sometimes being where they needed to be. But, this is just something that they're going to have to continue to work on as they fight through the season.
And, of course, not only fighting through in terms of getting better, now they've got to fight through a few more injuries. T.J. Edwards, linebacker, I thought had a good game against the run. He's now on IR. And Rudy Ford, one of their better special team players, he's now out as well, man. Come on, man. Where are they going to get players? They're already zapped. The practice squad. You can start bringing more guys in off the street week 4, week 5?
You might want to start stretching. You're going to have to get off the grill and start stretching, man. Make sure your hammies are loose, D.Gunn, because they might be calling for you, man. They might be calling for what position did you play back in your day?
Running back.
There you go.
Yeah, but right now, it would take me all day to run from my couch to the fridge, bro. I can't sprint like I used to, man. My hamstrings like powders.
Yeah, no, that's why they need you to stretch, baby. We need you to stretch, get loose. Because I don't know, they might put you at safety. Most running backs can play safety, man. Put you down there at safety, get you down there to the line of scrimmage. They might need you.
Look here, man. By the time I stretch enough to get ready to be Christmas, they can't count on me, bro. That's it. I'm done. I can't do it.
I don't know. They might have an open trials. I don't know. Maybe there's a Vince Papale out there. Who knows?
Oh, you're right. Good point. You never know.
You might find a Vince Papale out there.
So the Eagles are feeling good right now. And what can just one win do for overall morale when you consider what they've gone through up to this point against the 49ers? Because nobody except the guys in that locker room were giving them much of a chance to beat the 49ers.
I think this one win is definitely a big building block because you just saw that the team, first of all, Wentz going out there playing with a little bit better energy, playing with some confidence, using other receivers, getting other receivers involved. I think with this defense, it definitely helps because now you start seeing the energy that you need to go out there and produce a win. The defensive side of the ball is all about energy and creating that hype or whatever that juice that you need to get out there and go battle. And I think that this was one of those wins that they really needed as a defensive unit to come with some hype, with some juice or whatever. And just overall as a team, to kind of help you with preparation throughout the week. This helps with trying to push through practice and get you where you need to be, getting the extra film in, whatever you feel like, all right, you know what? We got to win. It's not all for naught right now. It's not all for nothing. So this is something that I think can help charge up the group. They're like, all right, man, let's get going. We want something to build off of so that you can take this on from week to week.
So the Eagles right now, chest all swolled up, feeling good about themselves, and rightfully so. Now they get ready to head cross-state to take on the hated Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Steelers off to a 3-0 start, of course. They got an unexpected bye week because of COVID-19 situations. But you're talking about going into Pittsburgh's domain. You start talking about that man, Ben Roethlisberger, and he's getting up there in age. But I've had a couple of chances to watch him play. He's still that guy who somehow, some way knows where that pressure's coming from, whether he's stepping up, sidestepping one way to the right or to the left. He knows how to buy time and find his open man. He's still dangerous, still a very dangerous man.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you have Ben, he's been in the game for an extremely long time, so he understands pass protection. He understands the rules of the slide protection and everything else. He knows where his hots are going to be. You're not going to surprise him with many blitz because he knows the game. The thing that you need to do is you need to go out there and whoop the man in front of you. And when you get a chance to hit him, you need to make sure that you bring him down because Ben is a huge man out there at quarterback, and he's been known for shaking off rushers. So you have to get out there and put a hit on him and make him flustered, just like any other quarterback. The more times you hit him, the more times you make him move around and affect his timing, the better chances you have as a team. Now, you know, that means that the secondary is going to have to come out there and play. You're going to have to come out there and give that defensive front time. So, you know, I think Slay and company will be up to the charge of taking on those receivers.
Do not let that man, Juju Smith-Schuster, get open because I tell you what, he can make it a long day for a whole lot of people if you just give him a few seconds to get open.
Yeah, and that's where you're going to have Slay. You're going to have big play Slay get out there on him, and I think that's going to be his job. And you know what? I'm a believer. I am definitely a believer after watching Slay these last 4 games. Even when he did go down, you know what? Hey, I'm going to get right back out there and get back on the field for my guys. You can tell, like, he's all about trying to help this team win. And, you know, I'm a believer in him just being able to go out there and shut down whoever the best receiver is in the game.
Now, as I said a moment ago, Steelers are 3-0, but I don't know how good they are, Trey. They beat the 0-4 Giants. They beat the 1-3 Denver Broncos and the 0-4 Houston Texans. So their 3 wins are against teams that are combined 1-11. I don't know how good this team is.
Well, we went out there and beat the 3-0 49ers. So, I mean, you know, hey, let's, you know, they have a good defense now, you know.
Yeah.
They have a solid defense. That's something that they can hang their hat on. They come with a lot of different looks. They're extremely athletic. That 3-4 defense can be a bit confusing if you don't call the right person and they get to mixing and matching with different guys. So, you know, this is going to be a challenge. I mean, you know, their defense is for real. You know, no matter who they play, you know, this defensive front is for real. When you go back and you say, okay, yeah, the Broncos, they went out there, man. That defense went out there and had 7 sacks, 19 quarterback hits on the Broncos. Then you come back with the Texans, 5 sacks, 12 quarterback hits. You know, the Giants, 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. I mean, you know, this is, you know, you got your work cut out for you. You have your work cut out for you.
Can you imagine if we had linebackers like the Pittsburgh Steelers? Can you imagine that?
Man, you know what? Bush, I played with his dad at Florida State. That's where I am right now in my age.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah,
you old as dirt.
Yeah, like I'm like, man, cats that's in the league now. It's like, man, I remember me and his dad and I, we're pretty cool, you know. That's just where I am now.
Well, I lived in Pittsburgh for 10 years. I worked for NBC there for 10 years. And Pittsburgh is linebacker you. They will find linebackers. They will put a high premium on linebackers. And you look at the current linebacking situation, 3 of their 4 starting linebackers are first-round picks. You got Bud Dupree, you got Devin Butch, and you got T.J. Watt. They're coming, man. They're coming from all, and they're fast. They're sure tacklers. They're physical, and they love the blitz. And Mike Tomlin's gonna have these guys blitzing and trying to make Carson do some things he doesn't want to do. Yeah,
and that's going to be the challenge because when you have an offensive line that's been beat up a little bit like us, and then you have a younger tackle over there with Jordan Mailata, and then a younger experienced left guard as well. Matt Pryor really hasn't been up to where he needs to be as well. So, you know, they're going to come with a lot of different looks, a lot of different blitzes. I wouldn't be surprised if they come with a lot of 3-man games because we got beat with a 3-man game. It wasn't a sack, but it was a quarterback hit. So I'm expecting a lot more of that, because until you show that you can beat it, you're going to get tested again with it. So, you know, this is going to be another game where I think, you know, Carson is going to have to take whatever the defense gives him, understands where the pressure is coming from, so that he can make a hot read or whatever. And I think his receivers need to be on point as well, because if it's a cornerback or something coming off, if it's a nickel that's blitzing or whatever, they need to be able to notice that, change their route, and know that they're going to be the hot read.
And the Eagles' defensive front is going to have to bow up, because Steelers are going to try to run it down your mouth. James Conner averaging 5.6 yards a carry. Benny Snell, 4.6 yards a carry. They will test your interior and then some.
Yeah. So you're going to have to need Hargrave. You're going to need to have Malik Jackson and company, Fletcher Cox and all of them going out there and doing what they need to do. I think also I think you're going to need to make sure that, you know, your linebackers don't overplay it as well. Make sure that, you know, you have to be gap, because hold your gaps, because now if that defensive tackle takes the A gap linebacker, you have the B gap. So let's just make sure that we don't try to overplay it. Don't try to do too much. Be where you're supposed to be so everybody can rally.
So who are you picking in this game?
I don't know. It's a little too early to tell, man. I'm going to sit down and watch some more film, but I'm hoping that this is what I'm going to do. I'm hoping that this win is a building block for us to continue to chug along. So, I might go with us. I'm going Birds right here.
You going with Birds?
I'm going Birds. I'm going Birds.
I can't do it yet. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it yet.
My pick is a little premature, but you know.
You know what? I know Brandon Graham, if he hears this, is going to say wrong again, D.Gunn. And you know, I understand, but right now, there's too many holes, too many variables, man. Too many injuries on this team, man. I'm happy they got that win on the West Coast, but you coming back and playing a whole different beast now in your own backyard, on the road in your home state.
Yeah. And they're coming off a bye week.
Yes, man. Yeah. You know, you losing players. They're sitting at home resting and they're salivating about playing the next game. I can't do it. I'm sorry, Eagles fan nation. I can't do it right now.
But sometimes a bye week can hurt you, because it throws your timing off.
Right.
You know, so hopefully that's the situation right here.
All right, keep your fingers crossed. That's going to wrap up this edition of Grilling the Birds, brought to you by Inside the Birds. From my man Trey Thomas, I'm D.Gunn. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll talk to you guys next time.